Hello and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. I'm Esther, and today I'm going to give you an update on how my indoor winter garden is doing. My tomatoes are finally ripening and I can't wait to show you their sneak taste. I've been eating them and they're delicious. So the tomatoes I've grown inside are finally ripening, and I'm also going to give you an update on my winter sowing projects, the cold weather crops. Some of them have already started sprouting, so I can't wait to show you what they look like. So let's get going. Well, first of all, and please excuse the mess, I wanted to show you this tomato. This is the Father's Frost tomatoes that I started in December or November, along with these guys. And as you can see, these tomato plants are not micro dwarfs. They're dwarfs, but they're not micro dwarfs. One of them that had to sort of split on me hasn't gotten as big as the other one because it had to start with a new stem in the middle. But this other one, look how big this guy is. So I was on a work trip the other day, and as part of that work trip, I got to go to a hydroponic indoor garden where they also sell this product that's like similar to like the green stock, but it's for indoors, and it has a whole light setup. And I saw they had these lights set up so they go this way along the plants, and I thought, oh, why don't I do that with the tomatoes? Because I don't have enough lights to really give them what they need through a stack. So I set it up this way. I chained it to this little stand here. Luckily it's LED, so it's not hot. And I just did this yesterday, and we'll see how well the tomatoes do. They're producing fruit. And if these tomato plants are still going strong, which I'm sure they will be in May when it's safe to transplant these things out, I will probably pot them up into bigger pots and put them outside. They're producing cherry tomatoes. I'll show you down here. There's a couple little ones growing, but these guys really aren't meant for indoor growing use, but I can't kill them. I just really can't. I have a hard time killing plants. I kill them accidentally all the time, but I have a hard time killing them intentionally. But let's get to this. Here's the micro tomato setup, and this is the rosy dwarf tomato, and these are the tomatoes. Isn't that gorgeous? They're small, they're cherry tomato size, but they're looking great. I have harvested one of these, but I'm going to harvest some more today to eat in a salad. And these rosy finch tomatoes, they're a little bit bigger of a tomato plant than the Pinocchio ones, but look how pretty. And I'll show you a better photo. I've picked all the Pinocchios except for two that have ripened, but look how pretty they are. You can see all different stages of ripening. So I'm going to have some cherry tomatoes for my salads for quite a while. So this is exciting. Finally, so I started these tomatoes in late November, indoors. I've grown so these are tomatoes I've grown indoors for the entire winter. They haven't been outside at all. They don't know what direct sun looks like, but I've been able to grow fresh produce indoors over winter. And I expect these plants will probably continue to produce well into the summer, although I don't know if maybe I'll put them outside, similar to the big tomato plants. I might put them outside in pots once the weather's warm enough for them to live outside. Maybe in part sun, because they may not be hardened off fully to the sun at this stage. But yeah, that's exciting. Up here I have I did a germination test on some of my herbs because they were pretty old packets from like 2020. So I started some parsley, some sage, and then this is one plant that produced out of these are violas, I think these are violas. So I got one little viola plant in here. So I will ultimately pot these up. I will probably, as you can see over here, I've only got one plant living right now in my arrow garden. And part of the reason why is the root system of this basil plant has taken over the entire section. I mean, you could grow other plants in it, but the root system's pretty dominant in here. So, and I still like having fresh basil. So I'm leaving this here, but I may try putting one of the parsleys in one of these holes and try to grow it in the arrow garden. But these are mostly meant for outdoors later on. And then up here I've got some peppers and other things part of my project. And I invested in a heat pad. I invested in a heat pad that you just plug in and it helps with germination. And they're not too expensive online to kind of get it going. And these are LED lights. So I'm excited. Now let's go outside and see how the winter sowing is going. Here's what I've got set out so far. This is that mullein plant that survived from last year, so that's why it looks kind of gross. But this is, I've got peppers and eggplants, and then for cool weather crops so far, I've got out some, and I've got some flowers here too. But let's look at the cold weather crops. So let's see, the red fire lettuce and green ice lettuce have both sprouted. Oh yeah, they're looking really good. And then the Pablo lettuce, oh my gosh, I definitely scattered a lot of seeds in here. We're gonna have a lot of Pablo lettuce heads. I'll probably be giving some of those away. Let's see, what else do we got? Cabbage, so asparagus, which is a hybrid of asparagus and broccoli. My husband really wanted me to grow this, so I planted this year, as well as cabbage late flat. And it looks like both have sprouted. They're looking healthy. They've survived the frost. That's a good sign. What else we got? I put in some celery. Celery's not frost hardy though. Anything else we've put in here? I started some kale, but that was only 3 days ago, so that wouldn't be up yet. So yeah. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And I am gonna spend this weekend winter sowing so many things, so I can't wait to show you some of that footage and to share the gardening experience with you. And very soon I'll be transplanting some of these cool weather crops into the garden, which is just crazy to think that spring is so close, but very excited. So I'll see you next time, and happy winter sowing.